Hey guys, today is Wednesday, December 2nd. The time is 3:05 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 4 degrees Celsius. This is Avenue Road. I am currently heading south on. And I'm just making my way through the intersection of Avenue and Eglinton Avenue West. It's been a while since I've recorded a bike ride for the channel, but I've got my front wheel fixed up, and even though it snowed yesterday, the roads are relatively dry, so I thought I'd grab my bike and go for a spin. I don't really know what the plan is. I'm just kind of heading south towards downtown. I imagine I'll finish up somewhere around Union Station, and I'll probably wuss out and hop on the subway with my bike and head home that way. I'm also using a new microphone, as the microphone I used to use to record these bike rides died, but this new one is the same model as the old one, so hopefully it's working just as well and you can hear me loud and clear. And this is Chaplin Crescent. Straight up ahead here, Avenue Road comes to an abrupt end at Upper Canada College. There are a few different ways to detour around it. Some of these cars are turning left and they will head over to Oriole Parkway. And then that'll rejoin Avenue Road. I'm just going to keep going straight here. As you can see, unlike the earlier snowfalls we had this year, the snow has actually managed to stick around to some degree right now. This is Kilbury Road. And I have entered the grounds of Upper Canada College. This is a rather exclusive all-boys school. It's got one of the highest tuitions in the province. To the north on Avenue Road is an all-girls school that would pretty much be the equivalent of this. I'm pretty sure that school is currently in session, although a lot of students are remote learning during the pandemic. And this is where I rejoin Avenue Road, and the sign says you cannot go straight here. I'll just get behind this Tesla. I could probably squeeze right past them. In fact, why don't I do that? You do have to be extra cautious of drivers in the winter, as they're not as used to cyclists on the major streets. There's not too many dummies like me out for a ride today. And I think I'll just take Avenue Road straight until it turns into University Avenue, which is not too unlike a ride CJ Hoyle recently posted on his channel. He did a narrated bike ride up University Avenue. And earlier in the year, I did a ride all the way down Avenue Road, where I started up at Highway 401. That was in the summer, of course. So this is St. Clair Avenue West. The Korean consulate is just on the left. I could turn right here and head over to Russell Hill, which is one of my favorite streets to head southbound, but I'll save that for another ride a bit later on. If you're wondering, I am not wearing a mask. In these conditions, you tend to develop a runny nose, and I'd rather not have to deal with that with a mask on, although to some extent the mask would help prevent that. So St. Clair Avenue West pretty much cuts across the Midtown Toronto area, as does Eglinton Avenue, which is the major east to west street to the north of here. I imagine these cars will get an advanced green up ahead. And since I last posted a bike ride, I think the YouTube channel itself has doubled in size. So for a lot of you, this might be the first time you've seen one of these bike rides. Let me know your thoughts and comments. If you'd like to see more, or if you have any ideas to improve or change things. You can see a lot of school kids coming home. I just have to peek over my shoulder there. And this is Balmoral Avenue. I did a walk in the rain that was uploaded today that I went across Balmoral. I've also never really tested this camera battery out in the cold, so this will be a good test of that. Here's a nice little downhill run. If you can recall from my video down Avenue Road, someone pulled out and tried to kill me. And we have another cyclist sighting. And there's some construction to navigate. I just checked over my shoulder. There's really no one behind me. And this would be the Yorkville and Annex neighborhoods I'm just about to enter. Yorkville would be on the left side of the avenue here, and the Annex would be on the right. The cyclist in front of me has a fender over his rear wheel, which is something I still need to install, especially when you get on to wetter surfaces. That prevents a lot of the muck getting kicked up and going all over your backside and anyone else who's in your wake. And man, this is a brutal wind I've just met head on with. It is so nice to get back out on a bike though after so long away. And last winter I didn't really record any bike rides. I took it out a few times, but I didn't record any rides for the channel, so this year I'll try to do it at least once a week or so. And I'll record some rides for the Johnny Stumbles channel. And who knows, if I screwed this one up in any way, they'll probably end up on that channel. This is an easy red light to go through, but I'm not a fan of the Idaho stop on major streets. So just up ahead here is Bloor Street West. Bloor Street has a dedicated bike lane that starts at Runnymede Road off to the west, and it goes all the way over to Dawes Road on Danforth Avenue, which is just shy of the former borough of Scarborough. So at some point this winter, I'll come record a ride that goes all the way down, or across rather, Bloor Street. There's also Adelaide and Richmond, which have dedicated bike lanes.
This one they used to have like
I got her.
Unfortunately, yesterday, or the day before, it was announced that the city will be taking out the Brimley bike lane in Scarborough. I think that's a rather large step backwards for the city. They've been installing a lot of bike infrastructure, and the west, or the east end in general, particularly around Scarborough, seems to be quite neglected. I did one ride, just have to signal over. I did one ride from Scarborough to downtown, and it was quite apparent that they don't have the same kind of biking infrastructure that the rest of the city has. And how does the city respond? They rip out what little they do have. And this is the intersection of Bloor and Avenue. Just south of here, Avenue becomes Queen's Park. That's the Royal Ontario Museum straight ahead. And there's a newly installed bike lane. So I will be riding down that. Maybe I will just stick to this route all the way down to Front Street, and I'll consider this something of a trial run for the winter. And if it all worked out well, maybe I'll hop back on the bike tomorrow before we get some rain on Friday and record another one. I had plans on doing a late night live stream, or a late afternoon, early evening live stream. I can still make that happen, I guess. Lady is not very confident at turning out into traffic. And there's Queen's Park just ahead. So this is the University of Toronto, just on the right, and Queen's Park, which is the provincial legislative building on the left. That guy didn't see the red light, I guess, when he turned red there. At least pretend to slow down or stop or do something like that. And this is Hoskin Avenue. So to the right, that becomes Harvard Street, and we'll take you through Harvard Village, which is a very nice and underrated part of the city. So for those who asked if you can ride your bike in the winter in Toronto, even though technically it's still fall, I don't think winter officially starts till almost near the end of December, which is kind of weird, but most of the days in the winter are just kind of like this. Perhaps a bit cooler, but the road conditions are very similar, even after a snowfall. So they're generally quite dry and safe. So this next street here is College Street. I should be able to grab this light. I'm just coasting here. There's some horse poop. The police horses always just seem to drop their business and no one ever cleans them up. So this is Hospital Row. Now there's 4 major hospitals in the city. It's still an hour and a half till rush hour would hit full swing normally, but it's still a lot less busy than you would expect it to be. And this is where Gerrard Street begins. That's one of the last bike rides I uploaded, was a ride across Gerrard Street. Here's some more horse droppings. Certainly don't want to run through those with my wheels. And Dundas Street West. And these are kind of ideal conditions to be going for a bike ride, to be honest, given the time of year. And I think I might have overdressed a bit. I have a long sleeve t-shirt on and a thick fleece hoodie, and on top of that, another really thick hoodie. I think it's one layer too many. I would be perfectly fine if I didn't have one of the two sweaters on. Probably more so riding than I would walking. I'd probably feel cold if I was walking in this. And this is the United States Consulate, just on the right, with the old Canada Life building lurking behind it. So Queen Street West is the next major street ahead. I will definitely come out and do a bike ride along Queen West. In the winter, maybe that'll be one of the next ones I do. That's the financial district just on the left. We'll be kind of going straight down the outskirts of the financial district in a minute. So one thing I haven't really ridden by on this ride are any of the retail strips that have been so devastated by the recent restrictions imposed by the government. Some more horse droppings. I imagine that they had horses going up and down this entire stretch of University not too long ago. And this is King Street. So just to the left of here is sort of the main stretch through the financial district. And just to the right is the entertainment district. I think I'm okay for time. I'm gonna go south down to the lake and turn around and come up Bay Street to Union. I had to reposition my camera mount. It had been so long since I last recorded a ride and I haven't tested it, so I have no idea how this ride will even come out, so I don't really want to commit to an hour or super long ride. If I'm just going to delete the files and won't end up live streaming later. So I'm going to stay southbound here. Oh man, look at that southbound traffic. I'm not sure I want to get tangled up in that. This truck won't even be able to proceed through the intersection here. It says no right turns, but rather than go down to the lake, I will improvise. This is Simcoe Street. Well, let's just take Simcoe Street down to the lake. This will probably be better than York. And if not, oops. What a difference a block makes. There is no traffic back up here. And this is Bremner Boulevard. So just to the right of here is the Sky Dome and CN Tower, Ripley's Aquarium, the Roundhouse and Steam Whistle Brewery, the Rec Room, which is a large Dave & Buster style arcade and bar, which is not allowed to operate right now. Only in Toronto, folks. There's a, well, actually not only in Toronto, in most big cities, but it's kind of ridiculous. A pedestrian has to put his hand up and tell a car not to turn. And just to the left of here is the Scotiabank Arena and Raptors Way, named that way after their championship run 2 seasons ago. And this is Lakeshore Boulevard, and up top is the Gardiner Expressway, the major east to west highway along the south end of the city. And just up ahead is Queens Quay. So I will jump onto the bike lanes. Gotta be really careful that I'm not cutting in front of any cyclists here. Although they would have had a red traffic signal anyways. So this is another route I'll do at some point this winter season, probably more than once. In the summer, this part of the waterfront is kind of mayhem. But it's not so busy right now, so it's kind of nice. There's the 510 Spadina streetcar climbing out of the Queens Quay streetcar station. That'll be heading west over to Spadina Avenue and then north all the way up to Spadina Station. So now I'm at the foot of Bay Street. This will take you right up through the heart of the financial district. Although it's more of a deserted ghost town these days. Although if these vaccines turn out to be legit, it could be as early as next spring we start to see these areas bounce back to life. I certainly hope we get our local businesses reopened fully well before then, because they're not going to last much longer. And I'm probably not going to make the light here through Lakeshore. That's okay. There's the arena on the left, so I'm just going to what do you know, we made the light. I'm just gonna turn left here into Union Station and pop in there with my bike and take this back up to Midtown. They're building a new bus terminal for the Go buses right there. And I think it'll be opening in a couple of days, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be something to come check out and record for the channel. I am about to head inside, so I need to throw on my mask. I might as well leave the camera running and take you with me. Okay, I came all the way down here and they blocked off the entrance. Union Station is in a perpetual state of construction, and the city has given it an official completion date of never. I just don't think it would be the same if they ever actually finished whatever it is they're supposed to be doing here. They started about 4 billion years ago when the Earth was formed, and they've been working on it ever since. Just gotta fish my transit pass out of my bag here. I don't know why the machine was yelling at me there, but I hope you enjoyed this wintry bike ride from just north of Eglinton Avenue on Avenue Road South and into downtown, all the way to the lake, and then up to Union Station. There's some particularly freaky artwork. I can't see a sign when the next train is coming. There's one going the other way. All right, I think I'll end this recording. There are links to my Instagram and Patreon in the description if you wish to support the channel.
Customers on line 1 got converted to Transit Communication Center. The delay we were experiencing at Lawrence Station is now clear. Once again, the delay northbound at Lawrence Station is now clear. Full service on line 1. Passenger center.
You can also check out channel memberships from the main page. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you on the next one.